What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kevin with Optimized Essentials, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about NoFap, okay? It is currently November 1st, 2023, and, depending on when you're watching this, it may be a different date, but the goal is to share with you the secrets, okay? The mindset behind NoFap, because NoFap November is just 1 month out of 1 year, and it is only 1 month out of your whole life. Now, I want to share with you some stuff in today's video that will change the way you look at NoFap, semen retention, sexual transmutation, and ultimately how to succeed on this on a long-term basis, okay? And the goal, in my opinion, isn't to never fap off again, right? It's not to never ejaculate. It's not never to watch porn again, okay? But it's to develop a level of discipline and trust over yourself so that even when you do these activities, you have the strength, the courage, the power, and the discipline to get back on track, because ultimately what we're looking for is self-discipline, is self-mastery, okay? So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before we begin, if you're a guy watching this and you're interested in the topic of sexual transmutation, more specifically how you can turn your sex drive into higher levels of drive, ambition, motivation, success, sexual attraction, sexual magnetism, then please check out these links below, okay? I created a 2-hour masterclass doing a crash course on sexual transmutation for any of you who are interested in learning and do not have trouble focusing or have TikTok brain, okay? It is a 2-hour training that's free, so please check that out if you're interested in learning. If you want to dive even deeper and you want to get access to the first part of my course for free, then check out my free sexual transmutation course at sexualmanifestation.com/free course. And then also, if you want to be surrounded by a group of like-minded individuals or other guys who are on the journey of semen retention, NoFap, and sexual transmutation, then check out the Facebook group Sexual Transmutation Mastery. And if you need more help and you want to get coaching with me, working with me one-on-one, where I teach you everything I know about mastering your sexual urges, mastering your sexual desire, diet, fitness, pretty much anything you want to ask or talk to me about, and you can afford it, then check out sexualmanifestation.com/coaching. You can work with me one-on-one. It is not a cheap investment, but you will get the best knowledge from me, the best quality time, and I will teach you everything you need to know about sexual transmutation. And then finally, if you're driven and you're self-motivated, but you don't want to invest too much in a coach, then get the full course on sexual transmutation. It's a small fraction of your paycheck. It's a small investment. Some people waste a lot of money on drugs, junk food, stupid shit. But I encourage you to take a portion of your paycheck, invest in this course, Sexual Manifestation, learn the power of sexual transmutation, breathwork, nutrition, training principles. It'll be one of the best investments you make in your life. Hands down, guaranteed. Now, with all that being said, let's get right back to the video. Okay, so it's November, right? Most guys who start this 30-day challenge, who begin something, right? Who start a new year or start up this NoFap journey, maybe it's new for you, right? Maybe you've never done this before, or maybe you have, or maybe you've tried this multiple times and you failed time and again, right? Well, I want to share with you some thoughts, some ideas. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 things written down that I want to share with you that will hopefully change some wiring in your brain, shift your perspective around so that you can really understand and grasp what it means to be on NoFap and why it's important, okay? So the very first thing you need to understand is that it's simply getting control of yourself, okay? Think about this. The reason why people want to do NoFap, semen retention, is because they want to gain control over themselves, right? I personally don't think it's necessarily the problem with masturbating. I don't even think it's a problem with porn, okay? Because believe me, I've done this multiple times. In between all of my long streaks, I've watched porn and I've masturbated. And I'll share with you quickly my resume, my experience, right? In about 2016, 2017, when I learned about sexual transmutation, and in the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018, when I broke up with my girlfriend for a year-long relationship after having sex like a lot, right? I had my first long-term semen retention streak. That was 13 months, okay? That's number one, first streak. The second streak, right, between the first long streak, 13 months, I hope you guys are following with me, you know, and the second long streak, which was 11 months, okay? I took a little month-long break. I enjoyed myself, right? I took a little break and enjoyed myself. I didn't see it necessarily as a relapse. I see it as I reset my streak, okay? So hear me out. I reset my streak. I stopped because, also let me tell you why I stopped. For me, every time I ended my streak, it was like a phase. It seemed like it was an end of one chapter and it was a beginning in another. So the way I interpret my streaks ending is that one chapter of my life has ended. The energy that accumulated and that I recycled and that I, you know, retained in my body, it's done with. And it's time to bring in new stuff, okay? So between my first streak and my second streak, 11 months, I had about a month-long break where I, you know, would bust my nut once every week or few weeks, right? It wasn't that long. I only did it like a handful of times. And then between my second and my third streak, I had another 11-month-long streak, right? And then in 2022, I took a little break. And even in between those, I had intermittent, like short-term, month-long, 2-month-long semen retention streaks where I'd, you know, enjoy myself. And the reason why I don't like the term relapse is because there's a lot of negativity associated with it, right? When guys relapse, it's like, oh, guilt, oh, fuck, oh, man, shit, man, I relapsed. You know, it's like, you know, there's such a negative connotation to it that it adds to the fire. Like, you don't need to shame and guilt yourself for relapsing, right? Or, see, you know what I'm saying? It's not even a relapse. I see relapse is a proper term to use if you're struggling from an addiction. If you have an addiction to pornography and you genuinely are having trouble stopping yourself from masturbating and watching porn every single day, and you're doing NoFap for a prolonged period and then you relapse, that's more appropriate, okay? For me, I don't like using the term relapse because I never had a problem with porn. I never had a problem with this stuff, right? The same way I work out every day, well, 6 days out of the week, and then occasionally I'll eat, you know, some junk food, or if I'm bored of my diet, my clean eating, I'll eat like some protein bars, I'll eat some chocolate, I'll eat some stuff that kind of breaks the monotony of eating clean all the time, right? I don't see those as relapse because my lifestyle is one of a healthy person, okay? So for me, I see semen retention as something I prefer to do most of the time, right? So for example, this year, 2023, I did a 4-month-long streak, went to China, came back, had crazy urges that I could no longer transmute because of the negative, toxic, dense energy that you accumulate through eating shitty food. And I had energy that I could no longer breathe through and bring up my spine and transmute. So I ended my streak, all right? 4 months passed again. Same thing, similar thing happened, right? I had energy, that sexual energy that just kept coming back that I could not transmute. I felt like my prostate was getting like, inflamed and large. And I was waking up to pee a lot. So I was like, there might be something wrong with my prostate. So I decided to end my streak. And then now I'm back on it over like a month passed over a month, right? A month and a half. And I'm probably going to retain for another few months, you know? And the difference between this year and all the other times I've done it long term was I stopped drinking, right? And everything that affects your energy, like drinking, depletes your jing, depletes your energy, it messes up your sexual energy, right? Eating shitty food, eating low quality food, that's going to give you crazy urges. So all this plays into whether or not you can do long-term semen retention, which is why a lot of people do, you know, vegetarianism, veganism, is because that energy isn't as strong, right? But I'm not a vegan and a vegetarian. I eat a lot of meat, I eat a lot of fat, and that's, you know, why I get some urges. So far, I haven't experienced any urges, any problems with it. But the point of this video is to give you, right, the keys to long-term NoFap and semen retention if you want to do it. But what's more important, in my opinion, is developing the level of self-control that most guys are looking for. Because again, the problem isn't porn, the problem isn't masturbating and ejaculating, the problem isn't junk food, it's not gambling, it's not any of these vices, it's your inability to control yourself when you want to, okay? That's the first thing. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. What guys, in my opinion, are seeking, what's actually being sought after is self-discipline, self-mastery, right? Because I'll be here to tell you, if I take a break again, right, which time and time again has showed me that when I take my breaks, I enjoy myself, right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't masturbate for the rest of my life. I can't watch porn for the rest of my life. Look, I'll argue the other side. Here's the benefits of watching porn and ejaculating. If you're not surrounded by a bunch of women to have access, you don't have access to a lot of women, or you know, you're not trying to go out there and sleep with someone, and let's just say you want to let out some energy, right? You're legit healthy and you have an abundance, you have a high sex drive. And let's say you already practice all the principles I'm about to share with you, right? You have a higher purpose, your diet is on point, you're doing your spiritual practices, you're eating correctly, you have a good diet, you're training properly, you just have a lot of vigor and vitality, right? Let's say you practice semen retention for months on end and you want to take a break. Well, what's the benefits of watching porn? What's the benefits of ejaculating? Well, you get a buffet of women. You get access to thousands and millions of women you would never otherwise have met or seen before. There's a pro, right? And I'll even say, hey, I want to be able to enjoy myself when I take a break, right? Like a fight camp. Think about like semen retention as a fight camp. There's X amount of months where you're super disciplined, right? And then you take a month or two off, and then you repeat the cycle, right? The ability to enjoy yourself and take time off, downtime, is just as essential as being disciplined, because in my opinion, you can't do semen retention forever. You can't do NoFap forever. There is going to be a time, there is going to be a day where your streak ends. And instead of calling it a relapse, just say you're taking a break from doing semen retention and have the actual self-discipline, the self-control to get back on NoFap and semen retention when it counts, okay? So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is you have to know what you're getting out of NoFap, okay? You have to know what you're getting out of semen retention. For me, one of the main reasons I'm doing NoFap and semen retention is it gives you more masculine power, right? A lot of boxers, a lot of fighters, they do semen retention before their fights is because it gives them an edge. It literally gives you an edge. It gives you more masculine drive. It gives you more masculine power, okay? And the reason is because semen is the essence of your being, right? It's your essence. It's your masculine essence. The more semen you have in your body, the stronger your masculine drive. Does that make sense? So that's the second thing. Kind of rushing through this because in about 5-10 minutes I have to get going, right? So in the third one, this is the third thing I want to talk about. NoFap and semen retention is the reason you should be on this and thinking about this is because you're using your finite energy, right? Your finite life force, and you're sacrificing it ideally for something better. When you're just watching porn and busting your nut, you're wasting your finite energy. You have a limited amount of jing. You have a limited amount of chi, amount of life force until the end of your life. When you're born, that sand timer begins to tick, it begins to drop, right? And the more you deplete it through stupid activities, sleeping late, drinking too much, you're literally killing yourself, right? So the way I look at it is, when you preserve your life force, when you preserve your semen, you're extending your life, you're extending your longevity, you're increasing your masculine drive, you're increasing your masculine power, you're increasing, right, the amount of life force flowing through you. People get on NoFap and semen retention for superficial reasons. They just do it because, oh, I don't want to feel, I don't want to feel like like the devil's in control of me. I don't want to feel like I'm a slave to my impulses. That's good. But the way to succeed with NoFap and semen retention long term is you need to have something higher driving you, okay? A lot of guys do NoFap and semen retention for low-level reasons. Again, they don't want to feel like a slave to their impulses. They don't want to feel like a loser. They don't want to feel like a noob, right? A low-level man, right? Some guy who just constantly blows his load to digital women online. Well, this is where I'm going to share with you some secret sauces, okay? What has allowed me to succeed on semen retention and NoFap for multiple long streaks is a higher purpose, okay? This is the essence and the pinnacle of sexual transmutation. In order to successfully transmute your sexual urges, you need something to transmute it to. You need something you want more than having sex. You want to have something more that you want than blowing your load. For example, I know what I'm getting out of NoFap. I know what I'm getting out of semen retention. It's ultimately to become a better man, to speed up the process of my online and physical businesses. In the beginning, it was just to get a girlfriend, right? Depending on where you are at your stage in life with NoFap and semen retention, you can use it for different reasons. For example, if you've never had sex before with a woman, if you're a virgin, your higher purpose at this moment in time is to do NoFap and semen retention so that you can actually have sex with a better woman, a real woman, right? After that, you have to figure out your higher purpose. What is your reason for being, your ikigai, right? And then you have to have a burning passion, a burning desire to transmute that too. So you realize that by not fapping off, by not ejaculating, you can preserve that energy to then transmute and fuel to your opposite goal. So that's the first thing, having a higher purpose. The second key that you need to know is diet, right? I've talked about this before. If you eat a shitty diet, your sexual urges is going to be all over the place, right? You're not going to be able to control it, right? You're not even going to be able to breathe through it, right? A lot of times when I ended my streak is because my energy was too chaotic, right? How can you have, right, 3-4 months of no urges and then suddenly experience urges that last for days and weeks? That means your energy is out of whack. And for me, when I had 3 months of clean energy where my urges were easily transmutable, meaning if I had them, I could just breathe, right? Do breath work, dissipate the energy. But if that energy doesn't go away, that means your energy is toxic, dark, or chaotic, or stagnant. And it's better to release it than to suppress it, in my opinion, okay? So diet, eating clean, eating whole foods, no processed chemicals bullshit, right? No McDonald's, none of that fast food bullshit. It's going to clog you up and it's going to make your energy trap down below in the 3 energy centers. It's going to mess with your prostate and you're going to keep on relapsing, quote unquote. The third thing is breathwork, okay? Breathwork is the essence of spiritual practice. It is the essence of transmuting your energy. If you do breathwork regularly, like Wim Hof and whatnot, you're going to open up the nadis, the meridians, the energy channels so that that energy can be transmuted from a lower nature to a higher nature. At first, I thought breathwork is the key to transmuting sexual urges. It is the key to transmuting sexual energy, to transmuting your sexual urges. However, you cannot transmute energy that is super dark, that is super toxic, super stagnant, right? There's going to come a point where even breath work is not going to work, in my experience. So that's why diet is first when it comes down to transmuting sexual urges, is because you need to have clean diet, you need to have clean energy, then you need to transmute the energy and circulate it via breath work. And then you also need, the last thing, resistance training, any form of resistance training, right? It could be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it can be boxing, it could be mountain climbing, rock climbing, physical training that literally breaks down your muscle and requires you to build up more muscle tissue, okay? That's why I love working out. That's why I like putting on new layers of muscle. Look at these biceps, these striations, right? All this is from mind-muscle connection working out. What you're doing is you're using that accumulated energy, that newfound abundance of energy from all the semen you're accumulating, to create new cells, new hair, new eyes, new skin, right? When you're working out and you're breaking your body down, you're allowing the energy to come back into a higher form. But the most important thing is you need to know what you're getting out of this. You need to have something you want more than busting your nut. And that can come in the form of a better life, to become the better version of yourself, to have a girlfriend, to succeed with an online career, to succeed with your online business. As a man, you need to have purpose. You need to have a higher purpose. Women were born with the natural innate built purpose of being a mother. A man has to find his mission. A man has to find his purpose. The same way I'm here teaching you guys, my purpose is to teach men, is to empower men, or not just men, but to teach people how to take control of their health, how to take control of their life, how to optimize their life, which is why my channel is called the Optimize Essentials. And my purpose is to teach people the knowledge, give them the ideas, the things they need to do to become the best version of themselves, right? That's my purpose. So I know what I want out of my life, and I'm feeling this with my sexual energy, with NoFap, with semen retention. It's like rocket fuel, okay? Having a North Star is going to be the most important thing when it comes down to sexual transmutation. And following that, it's diet, breathwork, and training. Again, I cover all this in my program, and I go deeper into detail, but I want to wrap this video up with, remember why you're doing this. Know why you're doing this. It's easy to watch porn and masturbate. It's easy to play video games. It's easy to go for the cheap pleasures. But if you want the ultimate pleasure, it comes from doing the hard things, which is why I made videos in the past filming the motto, short-term pleasure equals long-term pain, which everyone opts for. Everyone opts for the short-term pleasure. Porn, drugs, video games, gambling, all this is short-term pleasure. If you want to experience true pleasure, long-term pleasure, you need to opt for short-term pain. Cold plunges, cold showers, hot sauna. You need to opt for the hard thing up front. Resistance training, heavy lifting, staying with the burn, really working yourself. Short-term pain always leads to long-term pleasure. So guys, with all that being said, I wrap this video up. Always do the hard things. Challenge yourself as a man. This is what you need to do. It is a modern day rite of passage. Have a good one. Peace.